This is Matt Russell from the FX Power Course, and welcome to the DailyFX walkthrough.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound, and as I mentioned a few reports back, looking for this support line to act as support, but that line actually did fail and I exited this trade with a loss, a small loss, about 50 pips or so, and I exited on the close beneath the support line. Now, moving forward, we might expect that support line to act as resistance moving forward, and so far the daily candle has stayed below that line, getting close enough to that line, but really not justifying a favorable risk-to-reward ratio on an entry. Also, a little bit concerning here is that's a borderline. It's not perfect by any means. Doji candle right here, which could indicate a reversal. We see a very short-term daily but sharp downtrend. So I'm kind of shying away from this trade. I'd like to see how it reacts to this line. But that's the major technical level in the pair and something we should keep an eye on. For example, if we were to get a long wick or something like that, just touching this line right here, the previous support line, again, I'm now expecting to act as resistance, but confidence is low in this trade idea. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi, and this is the bounce off that 38.2 I mentioned a few reports back, and now prices are hovering just above that 122 figure at 122.30. So again, if you are long from that 38.2 fib, I would continue to hold this position right now, as prices are directly in the middle of the range. So I would not initiate any trades at this point, but I would certainly expect the area, and that's about the 120.20 to about the 120.50 area, to act as support moving forward. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. And as I mentioned a few reports back, I'm just looking for this support line here to act as support moving forward, but prices are kind of far away from that line right now. Also, a secondary trade idea with low confidence is for prices to come up just beneath that 170 figure, and this is a borderline head and shoulder pattern. It's not very clean at all. I'd consider the left shoulder line either 169.60 or a little bit higher there, which would be 170.35. So again, not very clean, but moving forward over the next 24 to 48 hours, if we can get prices up so the way I like to view this exact trade right now, and again, this is low confidence, this line right here, using these high wicks over here, is about 170.30 to 170.40 area, and I'm going to be having to place my stop at about 170.70 or 170.80. So what I'm going to look for over the next 24 to 48 hours is prices maybe to get to that 170 figure, even maybe 170.10, and I'd look to enter short there with a stop again in the 170.70 to 170.80 area. But this is a trade that easily might not materialize. Prices could come down right now and touch that lower support line, but that's exactly what I'm viewing in this situation right now for potential trade setups. The last chart is the Euro Swiss, and not much has changed here either. Still waiting for prices to come and test this longer term resistance line. As I've been mentioning in the past several reports, you can see the clear, this is what's called a bullish flag pattern, and prices have broken out above the line. I mentioned in yesterday's report that we might look for a close above that line, and that's what we have now. The only issue here is yesterday's low is kind of far away from current price action here, and that's where I'd want to place my stop, beneath the 151.07 area, and with now prices well into the 152s, that it constitutes a lot of risk in the trade. So if prices were to come down, ideally what I would like to look for is a long entry on the opposite side of this previous resistance line to act as support moving forward. And again, I'd place my stop beneath the low of this candle wick right here. Let me zoom in a little closer here so you can get a better view. Actually, I can't do that. So that's what I'm looking for in this pair. But the main trade idea and the longer term trade idea is to wait for prices to come up and hit the longer term resistance line. And all I'm doing here is just trading the breakout from that bull flag pattern. Again, my name is Matt Russell. I'm an FX Power Course instructor here at FXCM. Thanks for listening.